Betrayal is rational. This is the terrifying conclusion of the most famous problem in game theory. Two people, acting in their own best interest, choosing the smartest possible option, end up destroying each other. This video is about the prisoner's dilemma. It explains why rational individuals so often produce irrational collective outcomes. You see this pattern everywhere. In business negotiations, international conflicts, even arguments with your roommate about the dishes. By the end of this video, you will recognize this pattern in your own life. More importantly, you will know how to escape it. Picture two suspects sitting in separate interrogation rooms. The police have enough evidence to convict both on a minor charge, 1 year in prison each. But the detective offers each suspect a deal. If you confess and your partner stays silent, you walk free. Your partner gets 10 years. If you both stay silent, you each get 1 year. If you both confess, you each get 5 years. Now run the math from one suspect's perspective. If your partner stays silent, confessing means freedom instead of 1 year. Confessing is better. If your partner confesses, confessing means 5 years instead of 10. Confessing is still better. No matter what your partner does, betrayal is the smarter move. This is what game theorists call a dominant strategy. In January 1950, two scientists at the Rand Corporation named Merrill Flood and Melvin Drescher designed this exact scenario to test theories about strategic decision-making. They invited an economist and a mathematician to play the game 100 times. According to their research, cooperation emerged 60% of the time, defying the prediction that rational players would always betray. But in a single encounter with no future, the logic is inescapable. Both players follow their dominant strategy. Both confess. Both get 5 years instead of 1. John Nash, a mathematician at Princeton, who would later win the Nobel Prize in Economics, formalized this outcome. He called it an equilibrium. A Nash equilibrium is a situation where no player can improve their position by changing strategy, assuming everyone else stays the course. In the prisoner's dilemma, mutual betrayal is that equilibrium. It is stable. Both players are doing the best they can, given what the other is doing, but it is also catastrophic. Both end up worse than if they had simply trusted each other. Roger Myerson, an economist at the University of Chicago, compared the impact of Nash equilibrium to the discovery of the DNA double helix in biology. It revealed the hidden structure underlying countless competitive situations. The key insight is this: the prisoner's dilemma is not about trust or morality. It is a structural problem. The incentives are designed in a way that makes betrayal rational, even when cooperation is clearly better for everyone. Understanding this structure is the first step toward changing it. The prisoner's dilemma is not just a thought experiment. It shapes real decisions in business, politics, and your kitchen. Consider the dishes piling up in a shared apartment. Neither roommate wants to be the one scrubbing pots. Each waits, hoping the other will crack first. The sink fills, mold grows. Both suffer a disgusting kitchen for weeks, when taking 5 minutes each would have solved everything. The structure is identical to those interrogation rooms. Waiting is individually rational. Waiting together is collectively insane. Or consider two colleagues working on a project. Both could share credit fairly, but the one who claims the most gets the promotion. So each exaggerates their contribution. Trust collapses. Future collaboration becomes impossible. They have followed their dominant strategy straight into mutual destruction. Price wars follow the same logic. Imagine two coffee shops on the same block. both could profit at higher prices. But whoever drops prices first captures more customers. So, both cut prices, then cut again, until margins collapse and neither can afford quality beans. Airlines face this constantly. According to industry analysts, when Delta, American, or United cuts fares on a popular route, the others match immediately. Travelers benefit in the short term, but industry-wide profitability erodes, leading to cost-cutting on everything from legroom to meals. The dilemma even explains advertising wars. When cigarette advertising was legal, tobacco companies faced a trap. Advertising heavily was always individually rational. But when every company advertised, the ads canceled each other out, while expenses skyrocketed. The same dynamic plays out between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Both invest billions every year, especially during the Super Bowl. Yet market share remains remarkably stable. They are running in place, burning cash. On a global scale, the structure becomes terrifying. Between 1940 and 1996, the United States spent at least $11.7 trillion in present-day terms on nuclear weapons, according to the Nuclear Threat Initiative. The Soviet Union matched this buildup until military spending consumed 27% of its entire economy, according to historical analysis. By 1986, both countries possessed more than 60,000 nuclear warheads combined, according to Our World in Data. Each country was following its dominant strategy. Each was making itself more secure by building more weapons. Together, they created a world where a single miscalculation could end civilization. These are not failures of communication. The roommates understand each other perfectly. The coffee shops know exactly what they are doing. The superpowers had embassies and hotlines. The problem is the structure of the game itself. When individual rationality leads to collective disaster, good intentions do not help. You need to change the rules. One-shot games trap you, but repeated games change everything. In 1979, a political scientist named Robert Axelrod invited 14 game theorists to submit computer programs for a tournament. Each program would play 200 rounds of the prisoner's dilemma against every other program. The question was simple: what strategy wins? Axelrod expected something sophisticated. Computer chess programs that won tournaments were built on complex algorithms weighing thousands of variables. Surely the prisoner's dilemma required similar complexity. The winner was 4 lines of code. It was submitted by Anatol Rappaport, a professor of mathematics and psychology at the University of Toronto. He called it tit for tat. The strategy cooperates on the first move. After that, it simply mirrors whatever the opponent did last round. If they cooperated, it cooperates. If they betrayed, it betrays. Axelrod published the results and invited new submissions. 62 programs entered the second tournament. Everyone had analyzed why tit for tat won. Everyone had time to design something better. Rappaport submitted tit for tat again. It won again. Later, Rappaport told Axelrod he did not particularly like the strategy. It was, he said, a little harsh for a peace researcher, but he wanted to see how it would perform. Axelrod identified 4 properties that made tit for tat so robust. First, it is nice. It never betrays first. This prevents it from getting into unnecessary trouble. Second, it is retaliatory. It punishes betrayal immediately. Opponents learn quickly that defection does not pay. Third, it is forgiving. One betrayal does not start an endless vendetta. If the opponent returns to cooperation, tit for tat forgives instantly. Fourth, it is clear. There is no mystery about what tit for tat will do. Opponents can predict its behavior, which makes cooperation easier to coordinate. A curious fact emerged from the tournament. Tit for tat never beat any individual opponent. It simply never lost badly. Other strategies got into vicious retaliation spirals with each other. Aggressive programs exploited weak ones, but then destroyed each other. Tit for tat quietly accumulated points by cooperating whenever possible and punishing only when necessary. Axelrod called the crucial factor the shadow of the future. When you know you will interact with someone again, the calculus shifts. Short-term betrayal carries long-term costs. The future casts a shadow back onto the present, making today's cooperation worth more than today's quick gain. This explains why one-shot interactions are so dangerous. A tourist in a city they will never visit again is more likely to be cheated. A company selling to a customer they will never see again has less reason to care about quality. But when future encounters are likely, reputation becomes valuable. Burning someone today means losing their cooperation tomorrow. The practical implications are clear. First, turn one-shot games into relationships. If you will see someone again, say so. Make the shadow of the future visible. Second, make your strategy obvious. Ambiguity invites betrayal. People cannot cooperate with you if they cannot predict your responses. Third, punish defection, but forgive quickly. Hold grudges, and you spend your life fighting. Forgive too easily, and you get exploited. Tit for tat threads the needle. The Cold War eventually proved the point. Arms control treaties like the INF Agreement in 1987 introduced on-site inspections. According to the Arms Control Association, 2,692 missiles were destroyed by 1991. The key was verification. When both sides could confirm the other was cooperating, the incentive to cheat diminished. By 2001, START had dismantled 80% of all strategic nuclear weapons, according to the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation. The prisoner's dilemma is a diagnostic tool, not a death sentence. Once you recognize the structure, you can change the game. Extend the timeline. Build trust through repetition. Make defection visible and costly. The trap only holds if you do not see the bars.